Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shah. Double honors to the apostle elders of Great Millstone that taught me this truth. And peace and blessing to you brothers out there that's pushing this word in truth and sincerity. Shalom. Alright, this the brother Amawan from the GMS Charlotte camp. And I just wanted to come to you with a little quick lesson. Just going into how we supposed to be feeding the sheep the milk, man. Because first coming into this truth, man, you have to learn the basics, man, and the basics is pretty much called the milk, in the scriptures, man. The beginning thing that you learn is in this truth, things like how the Lord is a so-called black man, how the Israelites are so-called black, Latino, or black as in dark-skinned people, how the Negro, Latinos, Native Americans, how the white man is the devil, and so on, man. So when you come in this truth, you gotta be fed that milk first, so you can get rooted in the truth and get your foundation established, man. So I just want to get a couple quick scriptures and just go in the spirit. So this is starting First Peter 2:1. It says, "Wherefore, laying aside all malice and all guile and hypocrisies and envies and all evil speakings, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby." Right. So when you come into this truth, you gotta lay aside, all the nonsense that you learn up in the world, man. Because since birth, we were spoon-fed lies, falsehoods, and hypocrisies, man. Everything that you learned up until coming into the truth didn't benefit you in no shape or form, man. So you have to come into this thing as a newborn baby. When you're a baby, you gotta get fed that milk and get that nutrients to help build you up, give you a strong body and everything. So it's the same thing with this truth. You gotta, I'm gonna read verse 2 again. It says, as newborn babes desire the sincere milk of the word, that you may grow thereby. So you need the milk scriptures, the foundation scriptures, to help nurture you and help you grow in the spirit, man. And like I named earlier, just scriptures like it's telling you that the Lord is a so-called black man. How he isn't the picture that we're used to being. We were spoon-fed, in the world. How the Israelites are dark-skinned people, man. Everything that you need to what you really needed to bring you into this truth. We're supposed to abide in those and continue to get built up, man. The basic scriptures, man, because you can never go wrong with the basics, man. Alright? So in order for you to do that, you have to be taught, man, because you're not going to be able just to find this on your own. The Lord's going to lead you to find certain things, but to really grow in this truth, you got to have a teacher, man. Because Jake, dealing with Jake, man, they come up and you try to ask them, like, where they learn the truth from. And the nigga would be like, how they just found it by themselves, studying all that. And that's bullcrap, man, because at the end of the day, you were heard of it from some type of source, most likely somebody that was teaching this, whether it be somebody that, just found out they're Israelite and they're going and teaching the word on their own, or just, just studying or whatever. They had to come across it in some type of way. And under that, they had a teacher, man. And so that's the same. You gotta humble yourself and come under somebody that's teaching the whole truth, man. Because I'm gonna get this. This is Hebrews 5:12. It says, for the time ye ought to be teachers, you have need that one teach you again, which is the first which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. Right, because you need teachers to be able to feed you this milk, because you know it's a lot of false doctrine that's out in the world. It's a lot of lies and deception that's out there, stumbling blocks, and so you need them teachers. You know, starting with the elders, apostles of Great Millstone, because those are the true teachers of Israel, man. You know, you need them to be able to feed you and give you the correct doctrine, so you can walk in the correct way, man. And examples of that are, you know, learning the true name of the Heavenly Father, learning the name of His Son. You know, what's some more? You know, learning of how to conduct yourself in the world. You know, what's acceptable, you know, within the laws, and like following up with what you can hold, man. Because you got Jake that's in here that's that'll try to be over righteous, man, and being over righteous will lead to your downfall, man. So you gotta be able to humble yourself and to be taught on how to grow in this truth, man. Because you're not gonna do this by yourself, man. The Lord's not gonna come down and deal with you directly, man. Because it doesn't work like that. It's an order in this thing, man. The elder apostles have been doing this for 30+ years, man. So they're well-renowned men, and they've been doing this for a long time. So the Lord put them down here as an example for us to follow by, man. All right. It says, which be the first principles of the oracles of Yahweh Bashem Yahushua, and are become such as have need of milk and not of strong meat. And that strong meat, you know, was going to like the parables, you know, the deep breakdowns and all that, man. You know, when you come in the truth, you're not gonna be able to grasp certain things like that, you know. And that's a stumbling block for Jake too, man, because Jake wants to be seen as being deep in all of this, man, when it's not about that, man. All right. It says, for everyone that uses milk is unskillful in the word and of righteousness, for he is a babe. Right. So when you first come in this truth, you know, you still learning on how to grow in the word, man. So you know, you have to learn before you can go out there and teach, man. Because it says you're still a babe, man. You're still fresh in this thing, man. So you gotta get built up first, man. You can't go out there and try to go ahead and just, you know, break down Daniel's, break down Revelation, go into the deep dark parables of what Yahushua was saying. You know, tackle the things like reincarnation, because man, you try to get into those type of things, man, you're gonna choke up, man. And that's what this next one says, verse 14. For strong meat belongeth to them that are of full age, even those who by reason of use have their senses exercised to discern both good and evil. And that's the apostle elders of Great Millstone, man. Because they're of full age, man. They've been doing this work for a long time, man. So they're growing in the spirit to be able to discern between, you know, what's right and what's wrong, man. What's the real doctrine and what's false doctrine, man. Because they've had their senses exercised, like the scripture said, man. They're well-renowned men, man. They've put in the work, man. So you gotta be able to accept that fact and reverence these men. Yes, we have elders, man. We have teachers, man. And that's the thing which we've seen these scoffers have a problem with, when it shows you how hypocritical they are, man. Because at one point or another, these men that are now scoffing have came up under the apostle elders, man, have learned that they were Israelite, learned the name of the Lord, learned the parables and breakdowns from these men, from the apostles and elders, and now you see them out there scoffing, man, because they're choked up, man. You see the spirit leaving these men. All right. Because you gotta, when you dealing with somebody that first coming to truth, you gotta give him that milk so that he can understand what the words that you're bringing him. You know, the words that Yahweh is speaking, man. Because these aren't of our words, man. Everything that we bring out at camp and on these sit downs, these are all of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh's words, man. Because all this is spiritual. Alright? This is 1 Corinthians 3. I'm gonna start at the top. It says, "And I, brethren, could not speak unto you as unto spiritual, but as unto carnal, even so unto babes in Hamashiach Yahushua." It says, "I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto ye are not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able." Right, because when Paul was talking to the brothers in Corinth, he was, they was dealing with the Pharisees that are out there that was preaching about, keeping the law and all this and that, and it was pretty much putting a burden on the Israelites that were just learning that they were Israelites, man, that was grew up in the different heathenistic customs, and that's dating until now, man, because we all came up under that same stead, man. We all grew up into the things of the world, celebrating these holidays, not keeping the Sabbath, different religions and customs and all this and that. And so when we first come into this truth, you gotta learn on how to ease into it, man. When you learn about the laws, man, you gotta come to realize, there's certain laws that you can keep to the full extent, which is certain things like the dietary law and not committing adultery, not defiling your temple, not getting locked up, and things along that nature. And there's certain things you can't keep, man. But like, how the Sabbath comes in, it's certain days where Esau requires you to work. Hey, you have to make money to pay your bills and all that, man. So you gotta work on the Sabbath sometimes, man. But it says how we're not supposed to cook. If it's possible where you don't have to cook, man, then don't cook, man. It's just giving examples. But Jake come into this and try to be this super duper Israelite and try to bear too much. Learning all this knowledge, it can overwhelm you, man. If you're not pacing yourself, man, because this truth will overwhelm you if you're not going at a steady pace, man. This is the scriptures compare this to a race, man. The scriptures is described as a race, man. And so if you run a marathon and you trying to go all out at the beginning of the marathon, you're gonna burn out, man. And it's the same thing for this truth. So you gotta pace yourself and soak in the milk and get your foundation right, so you can be able to serve the Lord the correct way and be able to sustain yourself in this race, man. Because Jake could get in here and try to do too much, man, and end up falling out. You learn all these deep parables. These all this stuff that makes you look like you know something, and then they get proud, and then they fall out. They start scoffing, and they just start bugging out, man. That's why the scriptures tell you gotta continue to use, get the milk, man. Hey, keep it simple, man. All right. I'm gonna read verse 2 over. It says, "I have fed you with milk and not with meat, for hitherto you are not able to bear it, neither yet now are ye able." Right. So when you're dealing with a Jake that's just now coming into the truth or never heard the truth before, you gotta feed him with that milk, man. Give him scriptures that can help him see, if the Lord working with him, help them see that this is the truth, man. Give them scriptures, on how the Israelites or dark skinned man go into Deuteronomy 28. Let them see how the curses affect our people to this day. How the Lord is so-called how the Lord is a colored man. The scriptures that's easy for Jake to swallow, man. All right, because they're not. You could have a Jake come up and you try to break down, Cornelius, how Cornelius is an Israelite, how the dark parables like the parable of the sower and things like that. When Jake ain't never heard the truth before, man, they're gonna choke on that, man, because that's meat, man. Different levels of the meat, man. Trying to go out at camp and break down Revelations, break down all of Daniel's, man. That's lead that for the apostles and the brothers that's been doing this for the long time they've been doing this, man. Brothers that's just now into this, man. Don't overdo yourself, man, because that's gonna hurt you in the long run. All right. Verse 3: For ye are yet carnal. For whereas there is among you envying and strife and divisions, are you not carnal and walk as men? Because when you first come into the truth, you haven't been built up in the spirit. You still going off of carnality. So it's gonna take a while for that adjustment to come into play, man. You gotta work your way into this, man. It's not gonna be something you can just change overnight, man. Because when you first hear about this and you try to, you on fire, you're gonna try to do everything in haste, pretty much, and it's gonna turn out bad for you if you're not doing it the right way, man. Jake trying to keep all the laws. You got like YC, for example, that harp on wearing your fringes all the time, man. And that's not wise, man. The scriptures tell you to be wise as serpents and harmless as doves, man, and to be circumspect, man. Hey, wearing your fringes all the time isn't being circumspect, because at the same time the law tells you that yes, we have to wear fringes, but man, if you walking in your everyday life wearing your fringes all the time, man, that's making you a target, letting Esau and others know that what you into. And on top of that, when this persecution comes down on our people, the ones that are doing this work, that know we're Israelites, that's gonna make you a target at the end of the day, man. So certain things like that, another example, how the scriptures say we're gonna have more than one woman, which is it's is lawful for that, but it's not wise, because at the end of the day, having a woman is gonna take your time away from this truth. You got more than one. That's more than one problem you gotta deal with, man. Because women are time consuming. So you gotta be able to balance all that stuff, man. And the scriptures tell you that what's all that roughly paraphrasing, what's lawful isn't always expedient, man. Roughly paraphrasing. So that's just examples on not being over righteous, man. You got you going within the law, but at the same time you're doing too much, man. All right. So when dealing with this truth, the Lord bless you with certain revelations. You gotta be humble, man. Be humble about it, and don't overdo it, man. Because if you trying to be deep, you trying to seem like you just super duper Israelite, man, you're gonna burn yourself out. You're gonna put yourself in a bad situation. So that's why it's better just to seek the milk and just keep it simple, man. And if the Lord, bless you with revelations, man, just apply it to how you know how to, man. You ain't gotta show everybody, that you know how to break down revelations, because the time's gonna come when it's time for you to do that. But you ain't gotta show everybody You ain't gotta go out there and try to put on a show for everybody just cause you learned that, man. Cause it is, I'm pretty sure the apostle got the videos out there, so it's different brothers that know how to do it, but they're not comfortable, or they just it's not the right time to try to go out there. Cause at the end of the day, when you at camp, it's no need to go out there and be deep like that, anyways, man. Because you out there pretty much prophesying to the wind, and the people that come up more than likely they never heard this before. So you trying to be all deep and break down these deep, dark parables and revelations, you're going to go over people's heads, man. Alright? So this is Sirach 3:21. It says, Seek not out the things that are too hard for thee, neither search the things that are above thy strength. Right? So that's why I said, man, just keep it simple, man. Hey, soak in the milk. Soak in as much milk as you can, man. Because like the apostles brought out, it's not about how much you know, man. And the Lord gave each one of his prophets their own portion, man. It's gonna be brothers that get beaten up on the chariots that know one breakdown, man. It's gonna come in at the last minute and know one breakdown, man. So it's not about trying to be deep, man. You trying to seek out things that are too hard for you, man. You're gonna bug yourself out, man. The Lord gonna have you learn that, and then like you're gonna be swayed by these different doctrines that's been out here, like you seen come past, like the flat earth doctrine, which is still taking up people to this day right here, man. That's a major stumbling block. Or this what's some more? The Samaritan woman at the well was an Israelite, and there's different things. There's not gonna be no sex in the kingdom. How the Lord ain't gonna be popping women in the kingdom, and all things like that. But Jake is you ain't gotta ponder on that too much, man. That's gonna bug you out, man. And I'm gonna get this scripture too, because at the end of the day, man, that's not profitable to you. Or having a debate on how the earth is flat is not profitable, man. How's that gonna save you from the kingdom? I mean, it's like, how's that gonna save you from the missiles, man? Alright. So this is Hebrews 13:9. It says, Be not carried about with divers and strange doctrines. Right? Don't get swayed up in that, learning and trying to learn about things like that. Oh, I ain't never heard the apostles bring this out, man. So I got this breakdown, and I'm gonna try to go out and camp with and try to be deep, man. It's not about that, man. Don't get swayed into none of that, man. But if you do, that was the Lord's will, man. It says, Be not carried about with divers and strange doctrines, for it is a good thing that the heart be established with grace, not with meats, which have not profited them that have not been that have been occupied therein. So none of these doctrines that these bug outs out here are trying to say, is profitable, man. Especially the flat earth thing, man. That's the main one that's on my mind, man. But these strange doctrines that these people out here that they just sold out, trying to say that Esau gonna be saved, there's gonna be Edomites, it's gonna be in the kingdom with the Israelites, how the Lord opened the covenant up to all the nations on the earth, like different things like that, man. Don't get carried into that, man, because at the end of the day, if it's not in this Bible, man, then you shouldn't even be pondering on that, man. All right. So this is how you gonna know, because I tell you in Isaiah 8:20, it says, To the law and the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. So the thing that they're saying, if they're not backing it up by the correct doctrine from this Bible, and there's no light in them, man. And as you see, the apostle elders they have the light is in them, man. And different men that are pushing this word across the four corners, man. Because everything that we're saying is coming out come out of this book, man. All right. So, you know, I'm gonna get this right here just to further land back on that. So you gotta be able to, when you learn and growing in this word, you know, the doctrine that the apostles, elders, then gave us, you gotta continue in this, man. You know, the things they told you, you gotta be able to keep that in your spirit and grow with that, man. Because this is the truth, man. And, you know, we don't, and you know, we know this by faith, man. You know, you scoffers can say what y'all want to, man, but you know, we got faith in this word. We got the faith that the Lord put the spirit on the apostle elders of Great Millstone, and we're gonna keep pushing this word, man. All right. This is 2 Timothy 3:14. It says of these things. 2 Timothy 3. Also like it, 2 Timothy 3:14. But continue thou in the things which thou hast learned and hast been assured of, knowing of whom that thou hast learned them. So when you continue to grow in this truth, it says we're supposed to continue in the things that we learn, man. You know, the things that the apostle elders have taught us through the Spirit, we're supposed to continue to in that same way, man. You know, the Lord says He changes not, man. So the things that are in this word, we're supposed to continue to abide in these things, man. The doctrine is what it is, man. Niggas trying to add on to the word, take away from the word, and the scriptures is sound in what they say, man. So we gotta continue in the way of the ones that was taught before us, man. You see the apostles, elders are doing the same thing, man. The word is what it is, man. Verse 15, and that from a child thou hast known the holy scriptures, which are able to make thee wise unto salvation through faith, which is in Hamashiach Yahushua, right? So, from as a child, we have known the holy scriptures, and we know that these scriptures are going to make us wise unto salvation. So that's why we continue in the ways that we were taught into, man, because it's going to lead us to salvation. You know, everything that the scriptures say, it has a purpose for us, man, and that purpose is to get us into the kingdom of heaven, man. That's why we have to continue in the way that we were taught, man. All right, I got one more scripture. I'm gonna close it out. This is Luke. This is the whole point of why we're supposed to continue in the way that we were taught, man. Because this is how you build a foundation, man. Luke 6:47. It says, whosoever cometh Yeah, 6:47. It says, whosoever cometh to me and heareth my sayings and doeth them, I will show you to whom he is like. Verse 48, he is like a man which built an house and dig deep and laid the foundation on a rock. And we know that rock is Yahushua, man. So we're building our foundation off the words of Yahushua. And when the flood arose and the stream beat vehemently upon the house and could not shake it, for it was founded upon the rock. So the different things that the world is trying to push against this truth, you know, it's not gonna sway us, man, because we're established through Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. So whatever BS is gonna try to come and go, if you're in the spirit of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, you're not gonna be moved, man. Verse 49, but he that heareth and doeth not is like a man that without a foundation built a house upon the earth, against which the stream did beat vehemently, and immediately it fell, and the ruin of that house was great. So the ones that are not built upon Yahweh Shem Yahushua, they're going to be swayed by these different doctrines. You know, the different things of the world is going to take a hold of them and ultimately take away the spirit from them, man. So this is an imperative that we continue to do this work and do it the correct way, man. Do it from the way that we was taught, man, from the elder apostles. Their way, that's the true way of Yahweh Shem Shai. We're supposed to continue in that until the end, man. Alright? So hopefully that was edifying. I want to give all praises to Yahweh Shem Shai, the blindness of the apostle elders, a great millstone. And peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's pushing this word, truth and sincerity. Shalom.